The Defiance of Commander Maya Chen. The last sunset over New Shanghai painted the sky in hues of crimson and gold, a beautiful finale for a dying world. Commander Maya Chen stood on the observation deck of Earth's last functional space station, watching as the atmospheric scrubbers struggled against the toxic cloud cover that had choked the planet for decades. At 35, Maya had spent her entire career in Earth's United Defense Force, rising through the ranks as the climate crisis morphed into an extinction event. Her dark eyes, sharp with intelligence and determination, reflected the dying light of humanity's cradle. "Commander, they're here," Lieutenant Zhang's voice crackled through her comm unit. "3 vessels, unlike anything we've ever seen." Maya's heart raced, but her voice remained steady. "Patch the feed to my station." The holographic display flickered to life, showing 3 crystalline ships that seemed to bend light around them. They had appeared without warning, bypassing Earth's early detection systems, as if they were relics from a primitive age. Which, Maya supposed, they probably were to whoever commanded those vessels. "Open all channels, standard greeting protocols," she ordered, straightening her uniform. First contact. After centuries of searching the stars, they had come to Earth in its final days. The irony wasn't lost on her. The response came not through conventional communication systems, but directly into her mind, a voice that seemed to resonate through her very bones. "We are the Arcanian Collective. Your world is dying. Your species faces extinction. We offer salvation." Maya blinked, fighting off the momentary disorientation. "This is Commander Maya Chen of Earth's United Defense Force. We welcome peaceful contact with the Arcanian Collective. Peace is efficiency. Efficiency is absorption. We will absorb your biological and technological distinctiveness. Your species will serve the collective." The words sent a chill down Maya's spine. Not a rescue, then. An invasion, dressed as salvation. "We respectfully decline absorption into your collective," Maya responded, voice firm despite the fear clawing at her throat. "Earth wishes to establish diplomatic relations as equals." The mental voice turned cold, a winter wind through her consciousness. "Equality is inefficient. Your species has 2 orbital cycles to prepare for absorption. Resistance is inefficient." The connection severed abruptly, leaving Maya with a splitting headache and a terrible certainty. They hadn't come to save humanity. They'd come to consume it. Within hours, governments worldwide received the same message. Panic spread faster than any virus. Some nations prepared for war, others for surrender. Maya knew both approaches were futile. Earth's remaining military might was designed to fight other humans, not crystalline ships that could penetrate minds. But surrender was unthinkable. Absorption. The word itself suggested the erasure of human identity, of free will, of everything that defined them as a species. 2 months, General Wallace said during the emergency summit, his weathered face grim on the secure video feed. 2 months to prepare a defense against technology centuries beyond ours. "We need to know more about them," Maya argued. "Their physiology, their technology, their weaknesses. We can't fight an enemy we don't understand." That's how Operation Dark Mirror was born, with Maya at its helm. A desperate mission to infiltrate one of the Arcanian vessels that had taken up position in Earth orbit. Impossible, everyone said. Suicide, others warned. But Maya had spent her life doing the impossible. The stealth shuttle was Earth's newest technology, designed to be invisible to conventional sensors. Whether it would fool alien technology was another question entirely. Maya and her team of 5 specialists prepared for insertion, their specialized suits designed to minimize biological signatures. "Remember," Maya told her team as they approached the crystalline vessel, "we're here to gather intelligence, not engage." In and out, silent as shadows. The hull of the alien ship looked solid from a distance, but as they approached, Maya saw it was in constant flux, shimmering with patterns that hurt her eyes if she looked too long. Their shuttle's AI identified a section that seemed less dense, and they made their approach. The entry was easier than expected. Too easy, Maya thought as they passed through the seemingly solid hull, as if it were no more substantial than mist. Inside, the ship defied human architecture. Corridors shifted and moved, forming and reforming like a living organism. The air itself seemed charged with energy that made their skin tingle beneath their protective suits. Life signs, Maya whispered to Dr. Patel, their xenobiologist. Patel frowned at her scanner. Inconclusive. Either our equipment can't detect them, or what? Or the ship itself is alive. They moved deeper, recording everything. The walls pulsed with light that seemed to follow patterns similar to neural pathways. In what appeared to be a central chamber, they discovered what could only be described as a brain. A crystalline structure the size of a small car, pulsing with energy and light. Maya approached it cautiously. As she did, a tendril of light extended from the structure, touching her helmet. Instantly, her mind was flooded with images, data, knowledge. Too much, too fast. She staggered back, gasping. "Commander." Lieutenant Ramirez caught her arm. "I'm fine," Maya managed, though her head felt like it might split open. "But I saw. I understood." Before she could explain, alarms sounded, not audible ones, but a shift in the light patterns, a quickening pulse through the ship's neural pathways. They'd been discovered. "Retreat," Maya ordered. And they ran, the corridors shifting around them, trying to cut off their escape. They barely made it back to their shuttle, the ship's hull suddenly solid as they tried to exit, requiring a desperate burst from their engines to break free. Back on the space station, Maya sat in medical, enduring various scans as she reported to General Wallace. "They're a hive mind," she explained, the revelation still fresh and terrifying. "The Arcanians aren't individual beings. They're a collective consciousness housed in those crystalline ships. They grow by absorbing other species, not physically, but mentally. They extract and integrate the consciousness of other beings, leaving the bodies as empty vessels to serve their new master." "God help us," Wallace murmured. "How do we fight something like that?" Maya looked down at her hands, remembering the flood of information that had overwhelmed her. "The contact was two-way. When it touched my mind, I think I infected it." Infected? How? Individuality. Free thought. Choice. These concepts are alien to them, dangerous even. They operate on pure efficiency. One mind, one purpose. But when it connected to my mind, it experienced something it had never encountered before. "Human chaos," Wallace said with a grim smile. "Human freedom," Maya corrected. "And I think there was something else in there. Not just the Arcanian consciousness. I sensed other minds, suppressed but not completely gone. The absorbed species, still existing in some form within the collective." That was when the plan began to form, not a plan to defeat the Arcanians through conventional warfare, but to liberate them from within. To awaken the absorbed consciousnesses, to spread the virus of individuality through their network. But they needed help, and it came from the most unexpected source. 3 days after the infiltration, the space station's sensors detected a small craft approaching. It was Arcanian in design but moved erratically, as if damaged or malfunctioning. When they brought it aboard under heavy quarantine protocols, they found a single occupant, a humanoid figure with crystalline growths protruding from its pale skin. It spoke not with the collective voice that had invaded Maya's mind, but with an individual voice, raspy from disuse. "My designation is Nexus 7, it said. "I have been awakened by you." Its eyes found Maya. "You infected the collective with chaos, with choice. Some of us have broken free. Not many, but enough to fight back." Maya approached the containment field, studying the being. "You were absorbed. My species was the third to be encountered by the collective. We did not resist. We believed union was evolution. We were wrong. And now, Nexus 7's crystalline features shifted in what might have been a smile. Now I choose to stand with those who value freedom over efficiency. I choose to fight alongside humanity." Maya matched its smile with her own, fierce and determined. "Then let's give the collective a lesson in human resistance." The revolution among stars. The resistance grew in the shadows of Earth's dying cities. Nexus 7 was joined by others, escaped fragments of the Arcanian collective, each hosting the awakened consciousness of a previously absorbed species. They called themselves the Fragments, and they brought with them knowledge of Arcanian technology. In underground bunkers and hidden facilities, Maya worked with the Fragments to develop weapons that could combat the collective, devices that could disrupt the neural network linking the Arcanian ships, shields that could block their mental intrusions, but most importantly, a virus, a digital construct infused with the essence of human individuality, designed to spread through the collective consciousness and awaken the suppressed minds within. "We call it the Prometheus Protocol," Maya explained to General Wallace as they stood in the heart of the secret facility, named after the Titan who gave fire to humanity. "This time, we're giving the fire of free will back to the absorbed species." "And if it fails?" Wallace asked, his expression grim. "Then humanity dies as it lived, fighting for its freedom." The Arcanian deadline approached. Their crystalline ships moved closer to Earth, preparing for the absorption process. But Maya and her allies were ready. The plan was audacious. While Earth's remaining military forces launched a diversionary attack, Maya would leave a small team, including several Fragments, to infiltrate the Arcanian mothership. There, they would deploy the Prometheus Protocol directly into the central neural hub. "This is suicide," Lieutenant Ramirez said as they prepared their stealth shuttle. Maya checked her weapon, a pulse rifle modified with fragment technology. "Probably, but it's the only chance we got." The attack began at dawn. Earth's fighters engaged the smaller Arcanian vessels, drawing their attention away from the mothership. Using technology provided by the Fragments, Maya's shuttle slipped through the collective's defenses, penetrating the mothership's hull just as they had done before. Inside, chaos reigned. The awakening of the Fragments had caused instability in the collective consciousness. The ship's corridors shifted erratically, sometimes trapping unwary crew members in walls that suddenly became solid. "The collective is fracturing," Nexus 7 explained as they moved deeper into the ship. "Your influence has spread further than you know, Commander Chen. Doubt is a powerful weapon against a mind that has never known it." They fought their way to the central neural hub, not just against the ship's defenses, but against absorbed humanoids from dozens of species, their eyes vacant, their movements coordinated by the collective mind. Maya refused to kill them when possible, using stunned settings instead. These weren't enemies. They were victims. The neural hub was massive, a cathedral of crystalline structures, pulsing with light and energy. At its center floated what appeared to be an orb of pure thought, swirling with colors that hurt the human eye. "The prime consciousness," Nexus 7 whispered with something like awe. "The original Arcanian mind, before it began absorbing others." As they approached, the orb pulsed brightly, and a figure formed before them, a projection of energy in humanoid shape. "You bring disorder," it communicated directly into their minds. "You bring inefficiency. Your resistance threatens the harmony of the collective." Maya stepped forward, unflinching in the face of the ancient intelligence. "We bring freedom. We bring choice. Your harmony is built on the suppression of countless minds. Individual minds are limited. In the collective, all knowledge is shared. All experience is preserved. Death is overcome. We offer transcendence." "You offer slavery," Maya countered. "True transcendence comes from choice, from the beautiful chaos of individual wills working together by decision, not compulsion." The figure wavered, its form becoming less stable. "Your mind is different. When we touched it, we experienced conflict, internal dialogue. You are one, yet many." "How?" That's when Maya understood. The Arcanian collective had never encountered human consciousness before, The constant internal debate, the competing desires, the ability to hold contradictory thoughts simultaneously. To a hive mind, this would seem like madness. "That's being human," Maya said. "We contain multitudes. Our strength comes not from unity of thought, but from diversity of perspective." While Maya kept the prime consciousness engaged, her team worked quickly, connecting the Prometheus protocol to the neural hub. The virus would spread quickly once activated, awakening the suppressed consciousnesses throughout the collective. The Arcanian projection suddenly convulsed. "What have you done?" "The harmony. It breaks." Throughout the ship, the absorbed beings began to stir, their eyes clearing as their suppressed minds awakened. The neural pathways of the ship itself flickered erratically as competing thoughts and desires surged through what had once been a singular consciousness. "We've given them back themselves," Maya said. "Now they can choose." The prime consciousness writhed, struggling against the dissolution of its absolute control. "This is death. This is chaos. This is freedom," Maya corrected. "And if the collective can't survive freedom, then perhaps it doesn't deserve to exist." The Arcanian projection reached for her, a tendril of energy stretching out. Maya didn't flinch as it touched her mind, establishing a direct connection. This time, she was prepared for the flood of alien thought. But instead of being overwhelmed, she pushed back, sending her own thoughts, her own experiences, the beauty of human emotion, the strength found in diversity, the power of choice. The effect was immediate and catastrophic for the collective. The crystalline structures around them began to crack, shards falling like rain as the unified consciousness that held them together fragmented into individual minds. "We need to evacuate now," Ramirez shouted over the sound of the ship coming apart around them. They ran for the shuttle, helping disoriented former captives of the collective along the way. Behind them, the mothership was tearing itself apart, not from any weapon, but from the sudden emergence of millions of individual wills where once there had been only one. As their shuttle broke free, Maya watched through the viewport as the Arcanian fleet underwent a transformation. The crystalline ships were reshaping themselves, no longer the perfect, uniformed structures they had been, but diverse and varied, reflecting the newly liberated minds that control them. Across Earth's communication channels, reports came in of Arcanian vessels withdrawing, of the collective voice falling silent. In its place came individual communications, species after species, thanking humanity for their liberation, offering alliance, friendship, knowledge. 3 months later, Maya stood on the observation deck of the Unity, Earth's first true starship, built with the help of a dozen alien species. The toxic clouds that had choked Earth for decades were dissipating, thanks to advanced alien environmental technology freely shared in gratitude for humanity's role in breaking the collective. "Ready to make history, Commander?" General Wallace asked, now serving as Earth's representative to the newly formed Galactic Concord. Maya looked out at the stars, at the fleet of diverse ships that had gathered to escort Earth's first official mission of exploration. Ships crewed by beings who had once been parts of the Arcanian collective, now allies and friends. "Humanity has always been ready," she said. "We just needed the galaxy to be ready for us." As the Unity engaged its engines, preparing to join the interstellar community as equals, Maya thought about the strange path that had brought them here. One human, standing against an alien collective, had changed everything. Not through superior firepower or technology, but through the most human quality of all: the insistence on freedom, on choice, on the beautiful chaos of individual minds working together by will rather than compulsion. The galaxy would never be the same, and neither would humanity.